Hey everyone, and welcome to the RC Retro channel. In this episode, I'm going to unbox a new inbox vintage Tamiya Dyna Blaster. Now, I'd be lying to you if I said this was one of those RCs that I've been after for quite some time, because it wasn't. To be totally honest with you, this wasn't even on the radar for me. And it wasn't until Gavin over at the RC Kicks channel got one of these and did a couple of videos that I became intrigued by it. And they're really not too hard to find. I went right onto eBay and put in Dynablaster, and about 4 different sellers were selling a new inbox one. 2 other sellers were selling ones that were already put together. But the problem was they were selling them for dumb money. I mean, it was ridiculous how much everyone was asking for. Even the sellers who had one that was already put together, that was near mint condition, and then one that was all scratched up. They were asking anywhere from $300 to, I don't know, somewhere between $700 and $800 for a new inbox one. So I was lucky enough to find one on eBay, but I'll share that story with you in a second. But I want to just open this up and show you what this kit looks like. I love listening to me. All right. So, the Dyna Blaster, and this was kit, I don't know, I think it was like 58-123, and is based on the Dynastorm chassis, and comes with the multi-disc clutch system, and has what I think a really cool box art color scheme. And I totally dig the way the red and the yellow are with the decals. It's a hot looking stadium truck, and like I said, Gavin did a wonderful job, which I don't know, just looking at it, wasn't even on my radar, and hey, now I have one. So how was I fortunate enough to get a new inbox Dyna Blaster? Well, first off, I got it half the price of what everybody else was asking for on eBay. There was a seller who had this listed under a Dynastorm. So if you did a search for Dyna Blaster, this kit was not coming up underneath it. It was coming up under Dynastorm. I have a Dynastorm, and every now and then I go and I do a search of some of the cars I have just to see if there's any, interesting parts out there that I could maybe get, that I could use for a restoration. I came across this, and it said it was a partial built kit. Now, in looking at the pictures, the only thing that looked like was built was a carbon fiber, I think it was, or whatever the plate is in the back of the truck that has the 2 arms connected to it, that was built. And the person who was selling it said they were unsure if all the parts to this kit were there. So, I just looked over the pictures and studied the pictures and looked at, one of those online manuals to see if all the different tree parts were there. And for the most part, I think it is. Now, I'm going to have to inventory all this to make sure that everything is there. But this was at a very reasonable price compared to what some other people were selling. So again, being a scavenger online, constantly looking at eBay, different auction websites, going on the forums, going on the Facebook pages, now and then you come across a really, really good deal. And this was one of them that I just couldn't pass up. And plus, like I told you earlier, I thought it was a really good looking stadium truck that Gavin had on his channel. So I decided to pull the trigger and get one of these. All right, so let's get this open and see what we have inside. Take off the bubble wrap. And first off, what I notice is there's a motor in here. And I don't necessarily know if this stadium truck came with a motor, but there's one in there. And again, I have to do a little bit more research, but usually the motor is in the blistering package, and this blistering package in here does not have a spot where the motor was sitting. So I don't know, I'm assuming that the owner put this motor in with this kit. So put that off to the side for a little bit. But here is the inside of the kit, and I'm going to start taking everything out. So we have the original chrome alloy, it's not real metal, but the chrome looking wheels, which are in fantastic condition. There's no wear on any of these, so put those off over here. Original tires, and you know when you open up a kit, it's like you have to smell them, right? Okay, you have to. Look, if you open up a brand new kit, you have to smell the tires. You know you will do it. Okay, put those over here. Let's see, the blistering package, and so I was right. It was the rear lower deck FRP plate in the back that was taken out and had the two arms attached to it. But for the most part, as far as the rest of the blistering, everything is there. So I'll put that over here for a second. We have the instruction manual. That's fantastic, honey. Okay, honey. Kids, they say the darndest things. That's if you heard it. I don't know if you heard what my daughter just said in the background, next room over. Okay, anyways, we have the stickers, or some people like to say decals, but I call them stickers because, well, we've been through this before. They come off and they stick, you know. So there you go. And what's cool about this is that they give you the window masks, I believe, and they have this really cool, almost like, you know, metal color sticker that is like the rails on the side of the car. So there you go. That's pretty cool. All right, put that there. We also have, I'm gonna get this out without ripping the box anywhere. We have the original body, which is stapled to the Dynablaster card that has a couple different models on it, like advertisements down here. So can't take the Lexan polycarbonate body off because it's actually stapled to this, but that's pretty cool. And the chassis is in there sliding around. Oop, there you go. So put that there like that. Another shot of inside the box. You probably hear a lot of banging going on right now. That is my wife walking around with high heels upstairs. All right, have a good time. My wife is going out. My wife is going out on a night on the town with her friends, and I'm staying home making YouTube videos. So, all right. Anyways, all right, so let's open this up, see what we have in here. Aha. This is the part that has been put together already. The FRP plate in the back of the truck with the arms, and that's it. So, I guess this still is a new unbox, close to new unbox kit. Either which way, this little piece right here gives me an excuse to build this. You know, I get a new unbox vintage kit, and I just look at it and I feel kind of guilty putting it together, breaking the blister packaging. I know I say I'm going to put them together, and then other projects come onto my channel and I just kind of leapfrog and, doing restorations or run videos, and I never get a chance to, build one of those new unbox kits. But, this gave me an opportunity to get this kit at a reasonable price because the person didn't know if all the parts were here, and also said it's a partial built kit. This is partial built? I guess so. But this, because it's already been opened and started being put together already, this gives me an excuse to build this kit. So, that's my logic behind it anyway, right? So, we have the bushings and the motor plate in here. Some of the hardware, one of the bags that's already been opened. So at least I put it in a lot of Ziploc bags. Wow, I really hope everything is here. I'm really gonna have to go through this. Let's see, we have, well, at least they put everything nice and neat. So I guess they opened up all the, individual bags for the screws and started to put the kit together. And I guess, yeah, Jake, you can go on the iPad. And I guess not following the directions, they, instead of doing it bag by bag, they just opened up all the bags at one time because everything is in these little Ziploc bags. Okay, and we just have the, well, for the most part, all the tree spruces are in the original plastic bags. So, give me a minute, honey. I'll be right there. Metal parts bag. Metal. I don't know. It looks like everything is here. I'm going to have to open up the directions and go to the, what is the last page where they give you all the tree parts and all the hardware parts. And I'm going to have to go through this with a fine-tooth comb just to make sure everything is there. So I'm not going to show you that part. I'm going to do that right now, and then I'm going to come back to you and let you know if everything is here. Okay, so I just finished inventorying everything, and as I was checking it off against the manual in the back over here, I was packing everything away in the box. So all the tree spruces are there. All the screw bags, although they're not in the original bags, are in little Ziploc bags, are there. All the hardware is there. I didn't inventory everything down to the exact number of screws, but for the most part, everything looks like it's all there. And even if I'm missing a couple screws here and there, I have plenty of those from, collecting those over all my vintage restoration rebuilds. So, everything is here. I freaked out for a second because I was like, oh my god, where are the springs for the shocks? They're not in any of the bags. And I was like frantically looking through all the bags again, and then I looked over to my left over here and realized that the springs for the shocks are in the blister packages. So I was like, oh, tell me I'm missing nothing except for the springs, which aren't really a big deal because I can easily find those online. But either which way, everything is here and I'm super excited. So when am I going to get around to building this? So at the current moment, I'm finishing up my big wig restoration, and then I actually have a couple new unbox kits that I want to crack open and start building before this. One of which is a Porsche by Tamiya. I'm not going to tell you which Porsche it is, but it's a Porsche. I also have an Avante re-release and a Avante Black Special. I'm not sure which one I'm going to build first, but I definitely want to get the Porsche done and build one of the two Avantes. And in the midst of building those, I like to do a couple other different RC videos, whether it's running videos or something with a Tamiya promo video or putting together a compilation of my cars. So this will definitely be built. I promise. This vintage kit will be built. I know I say that about my other ones, and I feel guilty. And then I always end up finding like a runner. Like when I got a new unbox Dynastorm, and then I say I'm gonna build it, and then a couple of weeks later I find one online. Then I'm like, oh, it's in pretty good condition, and then I can just get that and just restore it and run it. But this one I am gonna build. It's gonna be a shelf queen. It's not gonna be ran. Hopefully it comes out looking as good as the one that Gavin did on his channel. So you know, whatever, Gavin, thanks for inspiring me to get one of these. I'm glad you did. So those are the plans of upcoming projects for my channel. I promise this will be built. I don't know if it'll be in a couple weeks or a few months down the line, but it will be built. So with that, if you liked my video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing, and thank you all for your support. Hey, like my video? Then give it a thumbs up, and if you're into RC, please consider subscribing to my channel to check out some of my other vintage RC content.